Oh, hi, Wifey Sauce. My wife's in chat.
Just in time. Hello, Wifey Sauce.
Yay. Hi, honey. Ban all the trolls.
I heard some news about Wifey Sauce, but I can't talk about it.
It'll be on TMZ tomorrow, though.
All right,
so.
okay.
Matter of time. I told him. Honey.
We should be live to
Couldn't
YouTube though.
All right, cool. Hey, welcome everyone. This is Awesome Hardware. You are watching episode 168. Man, we're almost at 169, which is like this is the episode I always aspired to. I was like, I hope before we die, we hit 169. And it looks like we're going to, unless one of us dies within the next 7 days. That would be tragic.
It's a morbid thought.
Yeah, it was. And that's how we're going to start the show.
Because it's the Halloween show.
It's a Halloween show, death, you know, it's all part of the theme.
We're dressed up as...
ourselves.
I forgot to dress up.
We
do have a pumpkin, though.
I'm just a meta. I'm like super meta right now.
There's a pumpkin.
I dressed as Kyle.
Gonna carve the pumpkin on my half of the show.
Oh, yeah. Pumpkin carving in about half an hour or so. And thank you for joining us. This is the Halloween special episode. Not really much special about it, other than it being close to Halloween.
It's special. We have pie.
There will be pie. We're carving things, jack-o'-lanterns, and we have dead things, pictures of dead things on our beer cans.
Halloween-themed beer. See this?
Halloween edition. Right automatically.
Right now, I'm finishing off a Deadpan Pilsner, which see there's skulls on the can from Wines Brewing Company. This is a lager.
It's a Pilsner.
They're in Temec. It says lager.
Oh, what?
Pilsner lager.
It's a Pilsner lager.
Sure, why not?
When you're dead, it doesn't matter. And I have a Dead Guy Ale from Rogue Brewing. There's a little skeleton on here, too. And he looks cold.
Yep.
Probably because the beer is just served ice cold, as it should be.
Dead Guy Ale.
So thank you very much for tuning in. Occasionally we will swear. We'll use adult language here and there on the show. Only when it's warranted, though.
Pilsner is a type of lager. According to
okay,
which you think would be?
That's kind of what I know more about
thinking,
drinking beer than I know about actual beer. Yeah. This has been proven. So yeah, if you have little ones around or sensitive hearing, be warned. This we do have some adult language sprinkled into the show, only for good reason though. We also sell things on our merchandise stores. I have a site called Bitwit.tech, and if you go there, you can find shirts, hoodies, mugs. that scared me. I saw. You made me stutter.
It's okay.
I saw the cup.
I've got it.
I've got PTSD from that.
Everything's under control.
Just anything about bottles or glasses or beer on this show just freaks me out now. It gives me massive anxiety. So Bitwit.tech, go there now and buy everything. The Stay Positive sweaters, the Stay Positive hoodies.
Look, sale.
Bitwit hoodies. We got a sale on the Bitwit hoodies. Because, it's the holidays and stuff.
Yep.
$37 for a high-quality hoodie. There's also the Evolution, very, very popular. The Evolution, I think, is the most popular design for the bottle openers. We've been selling a lot of those as well lately. Oh, yeah. And I think we just got some more in stock. So buy something from there and go to Paul's store as well. Paul'sHardware.net.
Paul'sHardware.net.
Where he sells lovely things like beanies.
Like these organic cotton beanies. Super, super. Just got these restocked.
Is it cold where you live right now? I bet it is.
These were requested. I had these last year, but also somebody specifically requested these just recently, and I was like, oh, I feel like I'm on top of that because they're already coming in.
Yep.
Also got keycaps.
Super thug life.
I've also got these lovely glasses that we're drinking out of today.
Yeah, which are empty, by the way.
They are empty.
We should probably populate these glasses with.
All right, so the third beer that we have here, this is the special, is Calabaza Boreal. Calabaza Boreal. A collaboration. So this is by Anchorage Brewing Company in collaboration with Jolly Pumpkin Artisan Ales. And if you can't tell, when I was shopping for beer today, I was looking for stuff that had like skulls on it, or this one has a jack-o'-lantern.
Very, very festive. We could not be more festive than we are right now.
Ale fermented in oak tanks with fresh grapefruit peel, peppercorns, and fresh grapefruit juice. So this is going to be a little on the grapefruity side, I'm imagining.
Can I open it?
Yes, you may.
I've learned to face my fears.
We must face our fears and overcome them.
That's right. I see you guys. Some of you guys donating monies in super chat. That is never required, but always appreciated. We will be reading off. All donations will go to my eye recovery fund. Ooh, I'm getting better.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's empowering.
I know. I was only slightly nervous.
So we will be reading all messages that you attach to those donations at the end of the show during the after party. That's how we do things now. So thank you very much in advance for your donations.
After Party will also be streamed on YouTube, so
Yep.
everything's also streamed to YouTube and Twitch.
Is this a sour?
I mean, it's got grapefruit, so I don't.
It smells like a sour.
Smells a little sour.
If it is, I'm excited, but you might not be.
I can handle a sour.
Are sours the new IPAs for you, Paul?
No. It's not like
You don't hate
it's
them?
not like I hate IPA. It's not my favorite.
Why isn't that a shirt yet? I would wear it all the time. I would wear it every day. I'd buy 7 of them and do laundry once a week.
We'll poll the audience and see if people want a shirt that says that. I need more designs on my store.
There you
Actually, new design is coming along.
Nice.
I haven't looked at the. Anyway,
Cool.
let's continue that.
All right, so let's move on to the news. Our
yay.
first article for the day is from Hot and Heavy Hardware. No, it's Hot Hardware.
Hardware.
Hot and Heavy Hardware is a different segment. So this is about the AMD Radeon RX 590 that's been confirmed to carry the FinFET 12 nanometer architecture. So that's exciting. This has been confirmed by a leaked image, apparently from Andreas Schilling. It's funny that the word "shill" is in his last name.
I know.
Probably take that with a grain of salt. He's an editor at German site Hauerlux. I'm guessing that means hardware something in German. He's posted photos of an actual retail box with some specs. He's apparently a pretty reputable guy. He's not like known for like doing crazy leaks and stuff and being super sketchy. So this seems like it would just hurt him if it was a false or leaked photo, if it wasn't credible. So a lot of people are actually giving this photo quite some credit. But again, rumors until it comes straight from the horse's mouth. We've got a couple images here. One is actually of the sort of front here. It says RX 590. Nice Radeon branding there. And then the other
the 9.
9, yeah, is different. It's one more than an 8, which we have not seen before, people. And this is news.
This is a sour.
8 is now 9. Oh, is it really?
It's not super sour though.
Oh yeah, it's mild. It's a mild sour.
Mild sour.
Okay. So, anyway, there's also a second picture here that actually highlights some of the technology features. I wouldn't call them specs per se, but we do get some confirmation, again, grain of salt, that the RX 590 is going to feature FreeSync 2 HDR technology, Radeon Chill, Radeon Relive, Capture and Stream, FinFET 12, I think is the big one here. That's the one that made the headline. And HDR-ready DirectX 12 and Vulkan optimized, of course. So this confirms a lot of the rumors that have been floating around in the last couple weeks, maybe even months, that this is going to be a refresh. Yet again, another refresh of Polaris, just on 12 nanometer FinFET, which is pretty exciting. Now, the other additions that we might see to the RX 590 here is increased clock speed because of that nanometer or that architecture change, as well as maybe a bit of a boost in power efficiency, I would say, are probably the two main features that we might see from this new card. Again, it's not super duper exciting because it is, it's just a refresh, but NVIDIA seems to be only tackling the high-end market for now, so maybe this is a nice stopgap between some of the more entry-level budget options and, say, like an RTX 2070. It'll be interesting to see what kind of pricing AMD rolls out with this as well. And then we don't have the exact clock speeds or any real-world performance, obviously. That's to be determined for maybe November. I think November 15th is the rumored launch date. Again, all rumors, but perhaps mid-next month we'll be seeing this card actually on store shelves. And it'll probably be more accessible than any of the RTX cards. So, that's it.
Sounds reasonable.
That's it for the RX 590. Guys, let's move on. Anything to comment there, Paul? Anything?
I'm curious what the price is. If it can be sub $300, like that would be cool. I mean, I would hope it's
$250.
Even if it's well under. Yeah, if they can bring it at 250, considering that you can get 580s in the low 200s right now.
Yeah,
that would be a nice option.
That'd be a good.
Let's see how much faster it might be a little bit, be able to clock a little bit better and a little bit more efficient to 12 nanometer instead of 14.
I hope so.
You would expect to see sort of a similar difference. I mean, probably not linear, but like if you look at first gen Ryzen versus second gen Ryzen, when it comes to get a little bit more clock speed.
Yeah.
So there. Yeah.
Better clocks, baby. All right, moving on. We've got an article from WCCF Tech here. you guys pay attention to this. If you have an AMD card, or maybe if you're planning to buy an RX 590 and you want to save some coin on a FreeSync panel, these ones, these new ones, these V2 panels from AOC, are aiming at the budget market below $100. That's crazy. AOC is one of those sort of budget brands that actually is known to make some pretty decent stuff. So it's not like a throwaway, just trash brand off the bat. They actually have 3 monitor models that are coming, that are actually available now: 22-inch, 24-inch, and 27-inch. I think that's a good range. You know, if you've got a really small desk versus a lot of space, 27-inch is pretty good actually. Unfortunately, all these panels are 1080p, 1920 by 1080.
Boo.
But what can you really expect for a sub $100 panel?
Yeah, I guess.
Also, FreeSync obviously, but not just that. We're getting IPS displays built into these panels.
It's pretty thin.
Super sexy. I mean, I would not guess that this was a $100 panel. I'd be very curious to get one of these into the studio and actually feel it and sort of do a bend test.
They put the ports on the stand.
I love the way they did that. That's actually really smart.
That seems like a great idea. I haven't seen anyone do that
Instead
before.
of having to like find out where they go, like look under your monitor,
and also
you can just turn it a little bit.
The size of these ports and the fact that they need to be able to be plugged into a bunch of different times for whatever the rating is for the plug, means it needs to be mounted to a sturdier place on the stand. So a lot of times on monitors, like you'll see like a bulge or something at the back to accommodate those, because like you physically can't mount them to something this thin.
Yeah.
So it's a good idea.
Yeah. And obviously, these aren't meant to be wall-mounted. They can't be. There's no VESA mounts or anything, and especially with how the ports are laid out, you will need to keep them fixed to the stand. But the stand looks like it's got some decent adjustability. There was no details on that, but it looks pretty good. And, I mean, under $100. Now, that's probably for the 22-inch model. Oh, wait, actually, yes, it is. For the 22-inch model, it's $99.99. $129 for the 24-inch, and $170 for the 27-inch. $170 for an IPS FreeSync panel, though, that looks this good and has that slim of bezels is really great. And I think this is also a good option if you want to do like virtual surround or like a triple panel display, because the bezels are so thin, you're not going to have a bunch of black bars on the sides or whatever. And you could get away with spending less than, around $500 for all 3 27-inch panels. $300 for triple panels if you want to go 22.
Does FreeSync work in surround? That would be a big question. Also, like, I don't know.
Maybe the middle
I don't know how many people are about to drop money on 3 1080 monitors right now.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here also, but
That's true.
27-inch 1080 is not the best combination.
Yeah, I would say 1440 at the very least for that size.
It's okay, but 1440 is a nice step up in resolution for that size.
But I feel like you're right. Let's say you had 22-inch.
Cell says that yes, it does.
What does? So, it scales for all 3? FreeSync does all 3, I mean?
FreeSync and surround.
Oh, even better.
That's what Cell says. He says yes, it does, so he could be talking about
Cell has
something
never steered us wrong
completely
before.
different. He could be responding to someone in chat, but I'm going to take his word for it. Cell Processing, our moderator, who is always right about everything, has confirmed FreeSync 3-way monitor setups absolutely will always work for you.
And Cell knows it's 3 ways.
And you'll have no problem getting it set up and working properly either.
That's right.
Plug and play.
Plug it, baby. Thanks, Cell. And let's see. Anything else to say about this? Nope. Let's move on. All right. So there's an article from Ars Technica. Ars Technica is really good about like always pointing out when
ARS Technica.
I know. I started saying Ars Technica because that's how you started saying it.
Originally. And then
you corrected yourself, but then
I realized they're kind of setting
already...
themselves up for being called Ars Technica.
What does the ARS stand for then?
Alternative Reality Syndrome.
Is it really?
No, I have no idea.
I was like, that's quirky, but I dig it.
Probably does mean something.
Okay, so anyway, Ars Technica likes to put out articles anytime they see Tesla screwing up, which I very much appreciate.
Gotta keep them honest.
It seems like there are more and more Teslas on the road these days, and
here's a Tesla-free road.
Yeah.
Here's what a road looks like with no Teslas driving on it.
This was life 10 years ago before Tesla took storm.
This is actually where a crash occurred. So
yes,
that's
this
why.
is very depressing.
Okay.
So let's adjust to that. So apparently there's a lawsuit here. The Autopilot technology steered a stationary or steered a car into a stationary object on the freeway. Fortunately, the driver is alive, but he's suing Tesla because he's claiming that he was told by a Tesla rep or a Tesla dealer that all you had to do with the car's autopilot was touch the steering wheel every now and then when you're on the freeway, and the car would do the rest. So it sounds like, for the most part, a hands-off technology. Like, you set it and forget it type of thing. But that wasn't really the case. This guy named Hudson, I wonder if that's really just his full name, because they never said if that was, like, they never gave, like, a two-name name. He was just known in this article as...
It was like Madonna or
Hudson.
Cher. Hudson.
Or McLevin. Yeah, sure. I could dig it. So, anyway, he said that he was on his way to work. He has a 2-hour work commute. Makes sense why you'd want a Tesla that's advertised as having foolproof, hands-off automation. Sure. And then he was just relaxing on his way to work, and then BAM! His car ran in to a parked car that was actually left in the left shoulder, and it just slammed into it was a Ford Fiesta or something like that. And yeah, the guy sustained some minor injuries, but he survived, surprisingly. Apparently, this is an issue that Tesla has seen before in their cars. It says that the system isn't designed to stop parked cars, but or other stationary objects when traveling at highway speeds. This year, at least 200 other Tesla drivers have plowed into parked cars while using Autopilot. Another person was killed when his car... Remember this story? I think we talked about it earlier, a while back, when he ran into a concrete lane divider at full speed on the highway. I remember actually talking about that. It might have been on my half. So Hudson crashed on October 12th. He was driving 80 miles an hour, too. So it could have been fatal if it was anything more or less movable or more solid than, another car.
He was driving 80, or
he was going 80.
Or his Tesla was driving 80.
His Tesla was going 80.
It sounds like it's the car's fault.
Right?
The way this is being described here.
And Tesla continues to put zero blame on their vehicles or their technology, their autopilot technology. It seems like anytime an instance like this happens, they immediately shift focus and blame onto the driver, saying they weren't using the autopilot feature as it's intended to be used. That's the whole reason why this guy is suing, because he said the dealer told him, all you need to do is touch the wheel every now and then and you'll be good. Set it and forget it. Apparently not. Setting it and forgetting it equals costing your life, apparently, or potentially can. So this guy might get some buku bucks from Tesla, who knows, which will be bad for Tesla because they're already hemorrhaging money as we speak.
No, they're actually doing fine.
Are they doing fine now?
Well,
I thought they were.
Their most recent reports, they're back making money again.
Okay, because I remember they weren't turning much of a profit earlier, but it's good to hear that
they weren't. The charts that I saw were relative to the main launches that they've done.
Mm-hmm.
It was the different launches. Then they had the Model 3 and then the Model S and Model X previously.
Yeah.
And there was always lose money, lose money, lose money, lose money, launch, lose money, and then make money. And then they would go back to lose money, lead up to another launch, and then they would make money again.
Okay.
So I haven't looked at it that closely though. So. What is that
you only
noise?
own half the company in stocks. What? Grasshopper? No. It sounds like Darth Vader.
Sounds like someone's watering, like water. Right?
Breathing.
Alright. I'm sure it's nothing to be concerned about. He said.
Hear a giant explosion.
He said, and took another sip of his beer.
So, I don't know what's going on with Tesla. And it's interesting, Elon Musk has always said that, by having their automated technology, autopilot technology, that it would save millions of lives, or at least hundreds of thousands of lives every year.
See, that's what the article's not taking into account, is how many lives have been saved already. Which is probably nearly an infinite amount.
It's a really controversial topic, and it's kind of thought-provoking, because at the same time, certain accidents are happening with autopilot enabled that a human would otherwise never get into, probably. Like, that guy would probably not have driven into that parked Ford Fiesta on the side of the road if it weren't for autopilot.
It also seems a little bit like you're trying to sort of skirt the rules for how the autopilot is supposed to work if you're trying to do the minimum amount of human interaction to keep it functional.
Right.
Like, just got to touch the steering wheel every so often. That's like,
yeah.
I don't have a direct comparison, but I'm like moving the mouse every so often to keep the computer going to sleep. That doesn't make sense.
I get where you're going though.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure when you use autopilot, there's probably some, and I'm taking Tesla's side here. Obviously, there's, but there's probably some thing that, with some instructions for how to use it, and that you are still supposed to be there and attentive and everything,
Sure.
and paying some attention. But the running into parked cars, there's no real excuse for that, though. That seems like something they should fix. It's like they're designing the autopilot software and like, all right, it's like a person walks in front, like it'll dodge, and like the car drives by and like it'll get around and track all that, and it's like what about this thing? And it's like, it's not even moving, don't even worry about it. Like it's just all I have to worry about is the moving stuff. I don't know, but
yeah, it's really also kind of concerning with the way that like how like car dealers make money based on commission, how it's kind of like cutthroat, and they'll sort of say anything, like just the bottom line is all that matters. They'll just say anything to sell the car. And so unfortunately in this case, saying whatever you want just to sell that car could cost someone their life if you're telling them, hey, you can pretty much set it, forget it, and they do, and they're not there to actually steer away from that.
That's what that it's
a saw.
It's my neighbor's saw.
It's a saw, like a buzz saw?
Yeah, or like some, I don't know, it's probably a miter saw or something like that. But yeah, okay, sorry.
You live next to some manly.
But it's coming from back there, but bouncing through the window and like there. It sounded weird.
Maybe he has his own, Dan's hardware.
Also, like it's Halloween, so it's like what's that noise?
It's Michael Myers. Okay, so that's enough about Tesla.
It's coming from inside.
Everyone go buy one and use Autopilot extensively. That's the moral of the story there.
That's a good idea.
We're doing this?
Yeah, let's do a quick sponsor spot.
Sponsor spot!
So,
woo!
Full disclosure, completely my bad, but here we go.
Hashtag Wayne Paul.
I got one.
Oh, do you have?
I got one right here. Yeah.
Okay, I've got the other two.
You do? Oh, okay.
I did bring them.
I've got two of the three.
I'm responsible.
So full disclosure, I kind of screwed up with the Toshiba sponsor spot. So they're actually getting a little bit more sponsor coverage than was originally planned. Never mind all that though. Our show today is brought to you by Toshiba.
Hey.
So you'll find some links down in the video's description. Did you put your links?
I will right now.
Kyle's gonna put his links.
Doing it.
So you'll find some links in the description to some Toshiba products. They're all based on BICS flash memory, which is fast NAND flash memory that they're able to make and sell products that are not terribly expensive. So you'll find the TR200, which is a nice 2.5-inch SSD available in various capacities, 240 gig, 480 gig, like the one we have here. And they always I'm doing a build tomorrow, and I'm using the TR200 because I was just looking at SSD prices, and it was the best priced SSD for what I needed.
I just used the AOC ZRC100 for October's PC of the month.
There you go.
Which I was supposed to set live today, but I was out doing other things, so that video is going up tomorrow. But it features this drive. Yes. Because it's tiny and cute and relatively fast for its speed.
Yeah, the RC100 is a nice little super tiny NVMe drive. Oh, I can't do that. It's very durable too. You can apply pressure on it.
But snaps in half.
Teeny tiny M.2 drive. So NVMe. This is a 480 gig SSD right there. So yeah,
pretty good.
Very small. They also have an XS700, which is an external 2.5-inch drive as well. It connects. Oh, Kyle's got it right there.
USB 3.
Connects via USB-C. So that's nice too.
Oh, 3.1 as well. Yeah.
It's 3.1. This is the connection standard.
Gen 2, by the way.
If we're being absolutely honest, the connection standard from 3 to 3.1 doesn't really matter with this drive because you're talking SATA speed.
That is true.
But it still does adhere to that standard, so
it's a sponsor spot, Paul.
Okay, sorry.
You're supposed to lie to everyone.
Too specific. God. Toshiba doesn't care. They're listing the compatibility specs on the side. I'm just giving some additional information. The USB 3.1 Gen 2 compatible and all that good stuff. All right, so thank you Toshiba for sponsoring Awesome Hardware.
Sponsor spots you can trust. And brought to you by Awesome Hardware and Toshiba.
We'll do that again on my half of the show. Yeah. What's next, Kyle?
Next up, we have a story about games. Games report. Let's talk about Games Report.
That's really, not right. I was like, wait, I have this, but it's what it said and what the thing actually was.
This is really like the games hardware report, because we're talking about hardware that pertains to games, but not necessarily games themselves.
Clever.
But yeah, it's all the same. Sure. The first article we have here from Hexus is detailing the full list of the 20 PlayStation Classic mini games that have just been revealed. So you know how like Nintendo had their NES Classic Mini and the NES SNES Classic Mini. Well, now PlayStation's got one. This has been in talks for quite a while.
Nostalgic pieces of
always
plastic frippery that people waste their money on instead of just downloading an emulator like a normal person.
Because this is much more legal with less gray area involved, and
all right, fine, it's more legal.
Less likely to get sued, which has some appeal there. So there's 20 games listed with this this unit. Again, it's PlayStation, original PlayStation, PS1, Classic Mini, and the 20 games are listed right there. Let's see, Battle Arena Toshinden.
Not familiar
Cool
with that
Borders 2, Destruction
I haven't
Derby.
looked at the full list, but wait.
Final Fantasy 7.
Final Fantasy VII's on here.
And the original Grand Theft Auto.
This is the original Grand Theft Auto. I'm wondering if people are going to be expecting something other than what this actually is.
Like GTA, like a 3D open world.
Do you remember the original Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah, it's like top down. It's like top down 2-dimensional.
Top down 2D, and you drive a car around.
Yeah. I never played it, but I know
there
exactly.
There are similarities. It's very, people. There's some curse words
space.
and stuff like that. But
right, it's helicopter view and
it's
stuff.
very much 2D.
Come a long way. Intelligent Cube, Jumping Flash, Metal Gear Solid. I think that's going to be a huge seller
Metal Gear Solid
for a lot of people.
That's a good one to have.
That's a classic. Mr. Driller, never played that one. Oddworld, I haven't played most of these. Abe's Odyssey, Rayman's a tried and true classic. Resident Evil Director's Cut. I think that's going to be a pretty big one too. There's a lot of fanboys of that franchise, myself included. Revelations, Persona, Ridge Racer Type 4. I've heard that's a pretty good one. Speed. Oh, wait. Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. Never played that one. Siphon Filter. Siphon Filter was one of my favorite titles. And it's even more favorite now.
This is the one that I was looking for.
That I can pronounce it. Twisted Metal is awesome.
Yay! Yeah. Original Twisted Metal.
Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six and Wild Arms. Yeah, I played the shit out of Twisted Metal and Siphon Filter.
Yeah.
And Metal Gear Solid, actually.
I believe my freshman year of college was a decent amount of Twisted Metal.
Oh, yeah.
Not to date myself too much, but I'm freaking old. All right. So everyone go buy it. What
December 3rd is
what
is
you're
the
recommending?
release. So
for $100.
$100, pretty good deal, I would say. It still remains to be seen if you can add extra games.
It's funny because when the PlayStation, no, never mind. I'm thinking of Super Nintendo. Never mind.
Okay.
Mixed up with Super Nintendo launched for $200, and then I got a used one for $80.
Around the time that it launched.
It was within like a year of when it launched.
That's pretty good.
I mean, it was still, yeah. I had to be on a waiting. I had to wait for like two months on a waiting list at a comic book store near my house that also dabbled in video games.
Good things come to those who wait.
Yeah.
Everyone go buy 3 of those. Next up, we've got an article about Microsoft. Microsoft Research has been designing their Project xCloud controllers. So Project xCloud is kind of like Microsoft's response to NVIDIA's GeForce Now. It's a gaming streaming service. All the games are hosted on the cloud, but you can play it from virtually any device, whether it be desktop, mobile, and so forth, which is kind of cool. Now, obviously, mobile gaming sucks because, anything that's like, I shouldn't say that. If it's anything more complex than Plants vs. Zombies, like an action game or a first-person shooter, it really sucks playing on mobile because you have to rely on the touchscreen, on the actual screen, and sometimes you lose your place with your thumbs, because you're not exactly looking at where your thumbs are going, for example. And it's just a clunky solution for more like high-end games or whatever, more action games. So Microsoft Research has been designing these controllers that are supposedly going to seemingly integrate with mobile devices. That would, of course, make the whole Project xCloud experience more enjoyable. So what you have here is a controller that now it looks all funky and like ugly and stuff because it's just a prototype. But you can see that it can actually, it looks like a standard controller on the left, right? You can connect the 2 halves, but it also splits those 2 halves, and you can clamp each half to your tablet, smartphone, whatever, for a more, ergonomic gaming experience.
They say clipped,
clamped. Whatever your heart desires.
Clipping device.
So I think it's cool, and it looks like you can actually take off those grips if you wanted to. See in the picture on the bottom there that looks like there's no grips, no handles. So if you just wanted to be more slick.
I appreciate a modular design like that.
Yeah, that's actually kind of a good idea because sometimes those handles really do take up a lot of space when you're traveling and stuff. If you really are trying to go portable, and that's all you really need is physical buttons and a joystick, I think. You can grip the rest of it. Most people can pretty easily with just the backing of the tablet or smartphone anyway. I do see an issue here though. It looks like the controller. This isn't mentioned in the article, but it just looks like in order to clamp, on a smaller device, it looks like it's kind of covering up some of the screen.
Like here?
Yeah. And that might not be much of an issue.
It's like a notch. It's just people are already.
But that's the thing.
Totally
it's
accept
like,
the notch.
I can't talk massive shit on the notch and then be totally okay with this. I feel like that would just be hypocritical of me.
Oh.
I feel like maybe it's not as huge a deal. I mean, how would you like gaming on a monitor like your Predator X27 or something like that, and then having like an inch or two of just screen real estate gone from the sides? I know it's peripheral and all, but I don't know. It still makes a difference. Probably even more so on a small screen like that. It doesn't look like it's covering much of anything on that third picture there, but
it's a tablet.
It's a tablet. It's got much bigger bezels. That's probably why. I think the bezel thinness could have a backfiring effect.
So see, this is demonstrating the benefit of thicker bezels.
Yeah, go buy a mobile device with super thick bezels. They're now back. They're now in. They're now in again. Super in. So yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. Have you tried out GeForce Now?
No.
I mean, I think that's where we're headed. I feel like console gamers are going to hop on these services before PC gamers do because it'll be a while before...
Oh, dang. We lost the camera.
Oh, no.
I bet Hero did that.
I got it. Ah! But sound's still there?
Is the camera off?
The camera's on.
Camera's on.
Should I replug it in?
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Hold on. I think that's cell messaging.
Let me just press the self-destruct button. Hero, what did you do?
Sound is still functional.
Hero, you bitch.
Yeah, can you unplug the HDMI and then plug it back in? From here. Yeah, right there. Oh, I came back for a second. You did wait. All right, we're back. Yay!
Okay.
Good job, Kyle.
Yay!
Well done.
Bad Hero.
Well done.
Bad dog. You're still cute though.
Did he do that? I don't think he did that.
Oh, okay.
I think that's just more. Well, I'm gonna. So
don't breathe.
Part of my half is going to be explaining why my half is very poorly planned. So more. It's
actually the whole half.
More details on my half about.
Stay tuned for Paul's excuse.
Why things.
Hero.
Or maybe.
Good.
Maybe we're slightly nervous about things being fully functional for today's show. That's fine though. Everything's fine. We're back in business, and we now know what to do if that happens again.
Yes, we do. All right. So yeah. Like I was gonna say,
the stream runs on hope.
Yes, it does. Powered by hope. All right. Let's just move on. We've got some more stuff to talk about here. Steam Halloween sale has started. Just wanted to give you guys a quick heads up. This is brought to our attention by OC3D.net. Or anyone who is on Steam. I haven't looked at any of the deals.
I should try to carve the pumpkin like this.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
With the valve.
I bet so many people are going to carve one like that just because they saw that artwork.
Great idea.
Yeah. So, top sellers.
Hey.
Looks like these are all in your Great British Pounds.
Oh, good.
Means nothing to me. I wouldn't buy any of these games. Although Shadow of the Tomb Raider is still going for the same price, I think, of $39.99 US.
Oh, good.
Which is down.
Kept that
$20.
discount.
That's massive. 34%. That's awesome. So yeah, it looks like they were all like scary games too, or like sort of like suspenseful games.
Vampire. Well, that would make sense. It's a Halloween sale,
Most of them.
Kyle.
Not Rocket League.
We gotta have a theme.
Yeah, no.
Rocket League can be scary.
Yeah, I guess if you're scared of balls.
Consider
in your face, big balls.
Yeah,
in
and
your
like
face.
you're trapped in a big arena.
Playing
people watching you and judging you.
Playing with your balls.
You're just playing with your balls. That's all you have to do.
Other people playing with your balls.
That's kind of. I'm scared.
I am scared down too. Jeez. Guess I'm not sleeping tonight. So everyone go buy some games. Games are good. They keep us employed as well, because then you'll keep being interested in the computers that we make to run them. All right, moving on. We have one last topic for debate here. This is a very, very important All right, this is serious. This is serious here. So the other day I tweeted, I asked you guys on Twitter if I should buy a PS4 Pro in order to play Red Dead Redemption 2, because I'm a huge fan of the first one, and I wanted to play the second one. And then instead of saying yes or no, it just turned into, of course, this just giant fanboy thread of whether I should buy PS4 Pro or Xbox One X. And a lot of people were saying, I mean, there was just, I mean, good arguments on both sides, really. But at the end of the day, I went with an Xbox One X. As you can see right there, Paul's brought it up. I bought the Xbox One X. And of course, there was a flood of people saying, yeah! And other people saying, no! So I want to ask you guys right now, right here, live. Okay? Did I make the right choice by buying an Xbox One X over a PS4 Pro for Red Dead Redemption 2? Remember, I'm buying this console. I was going to buy either of these consoles specifically for this title. Okay?
Does it look better on the PlayStation 4 Pro?
So, apparently...
Is that what people say?
Okay, here's what sold me on the Xbox One X. Is that it natively plays this particular title at 4K, 30 FPS. Whereas PS4 does some weird mumbo-jumbo to, I don't want to say upscale, but it's not true 4K, but it's, you know, so it doesn't look quite as crispy.
Probably is upscaling.
Probably. So it doesn't look quite as crispy as the Xbox One X.
Or it's probably rendering at a slightly lower resolution and scaling it up to 4K.
Okay, sure.
So
I just wasn't sure, but so that pretty much sold me. But
Xbox One X also plays 4K Blu-ray or 4K Blu-ray.
It is a PS4 Pro does not.
I don't know about the Pro. Pro probably does.
I mean, I have no idea.
I don't know either.
Sure.
I'm very.
But you know what else sold me on the Xbox
with
One X is the fact that I really love the Xbox One controller.
It's a good controller.
I do not like the PlayStation 4 controller at all. And there are products, there are devices, adapters you can use.
PS4 Pro doesn't do 4K Blu-ray, says chat. I was waiting for that to come. Thank you, chat.
That's a whole other reason, because I would love this to be a sort of multi-purpose device.
It is the main reason why I got my Xbox One.
Yeah. Right.
But,
yeah, because, you know, there's no native Blu-ray support on Windows 10. And it's a real pain in the ass to try to play any sort of Blu-ray through a third-party software.
Yeah.
I've struggled with that for years, so it's kind of nice that I have that option now. But the other thing, that I think the strongest argument for the PS4 Pro side was the exclusive titles. Everyone was saying, "Oh my God, the exclusives!" Though,
did you tell people to vote in the?
Yeah. I dropped a link in chat.
Everyone in chat vote on the Calistropple.
The exclusive titles, though. Everyone's saying that the exclusive titles for PS4, though. My thing is,
what are the exclusive titles?
I think Shadow Zero Dawn Shadow Zero Dawn. No, Horizon
Zero Dawn.
Zero Dawn. Where am I getting Shadow from? Shadow the Tomb Raider. So Horizon Zero Dawn is supposed to be incredible. Another game that hasn't released yet, but is very promising so far, is The Last of Us 2. Sort of building on the popularity and success of the prequel.
Is it all the Zelda games?
No, not Zelda games. It's Nintendo, Paul.
Switch.
So there are some compelling.
Spider-Man, God of War.
Spider-Man, God of War. I did play the God of War 3 back in the day, and that was amazing.
I did see quite a bit of scuttlebutt about Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Various.
Yeah, a lot of scuttlebutt. So much butt.
Yep.
But the scuttlebutt to all this is that I don't really have time to play many games. There might be 10,000 great exclusives on PS4, but I will probably only have time to play one of them a year. At the rate that just and probably goes for you too, Paul.
Especially since you're going to be trying to play through Final Fantasy VII on your new PlayStation Mini.
That's exactly right. You know,
and that's going to take.
I'm not
several hundred hours.
I can't parallel process that shit. I'm not a GPU, so I can only play one game at a time, and I rarely ever have time to game. And I really just wanted to play Red Dead Redemption 2. Not interested in the exclusives, let alone have time for them. So
have you played it? Or did you just?
I shot a video on it recently. I shot a video on it recently, so I didn't really play it. I played like the first half an hour, but I was shooting a video.
This is always my like whenever I think to myself like, oh, I played a video game. I'm like, no, I played a video game for a video.
Yeah.
Did I play that game at all outside of the context of shooting or capturing footage for the video?
Right.
If the answer is no, then I didn't
play it.
I didn't play it.
But see, my plan is to actually play it.
I used it for the purposes of video production.
My plan is to actually play it, though.
It does. That's another thing. Lots of people talking about that. You get off your horse and then punch it in the face, and the horse kicks you in the face, and it's a bonding experience.
I mean, it's worth it right there.
Quite a few times.
$500 right there. Worth it. So let's see what you guys thought on the straw poll.
Yeah.
Did I make the right choice going with Xbox One X over PS4 Pro for Red Dead Redemption 2?
Oh, I gotta hit results. I was trying to say if this could be R2D2, but not exactly.
And of course, I had to slip in that sort of funny answer there.
Yeah.
They better make a fucking port. But it looks like Xbox One X wins this one almost well over double.
You made the right choice, Kyle.
Yay! And this was tested and sort of objectively looked at. That Xbox One X did have the better graphics. It looked better. It performed a little bit better than the PS4 Pro and all the other consoles for that matter across the board. So, it was for those reasons, science, that I picked the right console. Thank you guys for weighing in on that.
Well done.
Alrighty.
That's all.
That's all for my half.
Yay.
Holy moly. Thank you guys so much, but don't go anywhere, because we're going to switch over to Paul's half. You can find the link to his half in the description if you're watching us on YouTube, or stay right where you are if you're watching on twitch.tv/awesomehardware.
Thanks, guys.
We'll be right back.
I had a quick thing, and then...